I'm Max Van.
And I'm Brian Van, and today we're going to break down our weekend of racing with Wera at Grattan counterclockwise, August 4th and 5th. Last weekend, Max did a total of what? It was going to be 6 races, right?
Ended up doing 5.
Ended up doing 5. Well, you were in the 6th one, and that's a whole nother story all unto itself. And we're going to do that in an independent video because it's like any other race weekend, right? Mm-hmm. There's always a story to go along with the weekend. It's very rare that your weekend goes 100% perfect. And I think last weekend was another phenomenal example of just that. I'm going to let Max tell the story of each individual race one by one. He'll basically have the trophy that he earned during the race and then break it down for you.
So my first race, it was the Clubman race, and I started off in first position, and then I ended up getting, by the 4th lap, I was passed by everybody. I was last place in my class. And then I was coming, it was basically like the 3rd corner of the track, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, get your head out of your ass. So I kept pushing and pushing, and ended up getting 2nd place by .004. It was so close.
.004, and that was interesting to watch because, yeah, you weren't really riding that well, and sometimes that happens. You know, you had a lot of family there watching you, and it doesn't take a lot to get into your own head, does it?
Nope.
But I was happy that you did, you got yourself out of it. You didn't just, give up on the race. You fought back hard. But your buddy Zachary,
Oh yeah, did freaking great.
He did great, and he took the W, man. And you guys have been riding together for a couple of years now, and it's cool to see that. I enjoyed watching that race. I liked watching Zach whip your butt because you know what? Sometimes we all need to get our butt kicked, don't we?
Yeah. So our second race, he was in it too. Actually,
I was in it, yeah, for a little bit.
It was D Super Stock, and it was a good race so far. First lap, he was in front of me. I was first place in the
Don't forget
class.
that.
Yep.
Don't forget the old man was in front of you.
We're going. It's the end of the first lap. We're going down the straightaway. He was about to make a pass, but then he got pinched off a little bit, so big deal. And then, so it's the third corner. It's like this real tight corner. We call it the bus stop because you come down the hill, you're fine, then he brakes super hard to like 30 miles an hour from like 90 to 30. And somebody ended up losing the front right up in that corner.
Well, and this is where the old man will take over real quick. We're going to do a separate video on this because we have all the footage and it's some pretty funny shit. A serial crasher crashed once again in front of me. Had his body splayed out all over, his body, his bike. It was like a yard sale, right, in the bus stop. It was either run him over, hit his motorcycle, or throw my Ninja on the ground. And I chose...
throw the Ninja on the ground.
He was right on my tail. And this is somewhere to talk about in another video and how important it is that, you act and you got your head on your shoulders. This kid did an amazing job of avoiding me. And then I'm also going to give Zachary a big props too for Zachary literally just scuffed the right side of your bike, evading you, So we had two down riders laying there in the track, two grown men, just like a yard sale right there. And these two young guys who you guys were gonna whoop us. That's what was gonna happen, but sometimes accidents get in the way of that. You guys did a phenomenal job of not becoming part of that accident. And I think that's more important than any trophy that you earned all weekend.
So my last race went pretty well. I was only in my class, big deal. And I wasn't riding too great because I just saw my dad eat it right in front of me. And I was kind of scared to go back out there because I still had that sight in my mind. I was like, yeah, my dad ate it right there.
Well, and you almost ran your old man over.
Yeah, so that was kind of scary. So I just went out there, rode my ride, and ended up getting first place in my class.
That's a giveaway trophy.
So,
let's call that what that is. You didn't have anybody to beat, right?
Yeah.
But I was proud that you went back out there because I got to believe that almost running your dad over is probably not...
scary.
Yeah, man. It's not something easy to wipe out of your mind, but we worked on your bike because during your part of the incident, when you got hit on the right side, it ended up tweaking your controls and you lost your brakes, so you couldn't finish that ride. So we fixed your bike. My brothers did, and Bavel and the rest of the team, and Bowman was over there. I mean, these guys scrambled to put our bikes back together. And that's
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome to have all that help. So I was proud of you that you went out there and you at least turned some laps and got comfortable once again to set us up for Sunday. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we fast forward to Sunday, and it's a whole new day. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about how'd you start that day off, man?
So I went out and practiced. Of course, I was being a little baby, so I rode like trash the first practice session. Then I went out my second practice session. Damien said he was going to give me a tow and ended up beating my lap time from the previous session by 3 seconds. So thank you to Damien for that.
Damien spent quite a bit of time with us that weekend, and it's Damien Jagaloff, him and his dad Adrian, really good people, and that kid's one heck of a motorcycle racer, right? For sure, we got to give him some props. He's very technical, and he was nice enough to help break down the track for you. And the cool part is you were able to take full advantage of the time and effort that he put into you, and we saw that through each one of the 3 races that you ran on Sunday. I'm going to say right now that the first race that you guys rode on Sunday, and specifically you and Zachary, right? Mm-hmm. That is probably one of the best races that I've ever watched. And man, I was so excited watching you two boys out there. There were 6 passes back and forth between the two of you guys for the lead, and you were continually setting personal best lap times. Okay, from there, I'll let you tell the story of the race.
So my first race was great. I went out there, I got the launch, I got the whole shot, and I never thought anybody was going to pass me. And the second lap, we just went down the hill, entering the bus stop, and of course, Zach got me under the brakes because I was not taking the defensive line at all through there. Props to him for passing me, I think, 3 times that race going into that same corner. So, second lap comes around, I draft him on the straightaway, get him into turn 1, get him to turn 2, then he gets me down the hill. And then I get him in 4, and then he gets me again, this next lap going in to the bus stop. And then I think that lap 2, we were going into turn 4, and I got him under the brakes, and that was the end of it. He never passed me back again, it was a real good race, Zach. awesome. Props to you. It was amazing. Yeah.
You guys were both doing, like I said earlier, personal best lap times. Like they were just one right after another, and it's like any sport, right? Somebody's going to win, right? Somebody's going to come in second place. It's just the way it is, and in this case, you were able to nip Zach. He nipped you the day before and you nipped him, and were able to take the checkers for that one. Okay, second race of the day, Super Stop.
So I started off and my launch was horrible. In the beginning, I accidentally let out the clutch a little bit too early, and then I bring it back, and then we went. So me and Damien went into turn one. We got a lot of rubbing going, a lot. I'm talking a lot. We both thought we were going to go down, but that didn't happen. And I got passed by everybody, basically going into the turn one, and that was the end of the race for me. And I thought, then Zach passed me. I was like, my race is done. I'm over. That's the end of the day for me. But I pushed super hard and then ended up passing everybody by I think the second or third lap, and that was the end of the race for me. And I was pretty happy with my results.
Yeah, once you had that little, the start was a little rough before, and you got rattled there a little bit. And honestly, if you're going to go do Junior Cup, dude, that's probably what turn one's going to look like every weekend. You're going to have all these young guys and girls fighting for that first corner, and you got to be able to hold your position. You got to be able to fight for it. And you got to experience a little bit of that, riding close with somebody that you really trust a lot, and sometimes, you do have a little bit of contact like that when you're racing. So I think all in all, you did really good because you recovered from that. You just kept your head down, even though you felt a little bit nervous, and it's easy to get that emotion going, isn't it? When all of a sudden you've been a mistake or something happens and you're passed by everybody, it's easy to let your mind go to, oh no, I'm done, the race is over. And that's something that, now I hope that with the experience you've had with that race, you're going to be able to look back and go, no, the race isn't over. That was one corner, that was one section. All I need to do now is pull my head out of my ass and put the other sections together, and I'll be back fighting for the win.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I did there too.
Okay, now let's bring it home. This is the last race of the day, and I don't want to tell the whole crash story, but one of the things I was really personally looking forward to as a dad was having the opportunity to grid up and race in a race with Max. I don't know if that's going to be something that'll happen again, but we had the opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, it really kind of got jacked up on Saturday. That's the first time I crashed in a long time. My shoulder hurts pretty bad after that. And I'll say, well, I got hammered drunk on Saturday night. I'm not going to lie to you. We had a designated driver. It's not a big deal. So the old man was hanging a little bit, right? So here's the excuse factory coming out. But I did get to grid up with you actually on the same line. And for me, that was the highlight of the weekend. Yeah. It was Damien, Jagaloff, myself in the middle, and then Wera was kind enough, because there's only 3 dudes in this one, right, to let Max come up on the row. So we all got to race start together. Mm-hmm. And, I got to be part of your race here for how long?
The first 2 corners.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to admit that just is what it is. You really picked up a lot of steam, and I'm going to tell the story of this race, if that's all right for you, because I've gotten to watch the video and I got to be out there with you. And, I'm going to give mad props again to Damien Jagaloff. The time that he spent with you and just the technical knowledge of riding that this young man has, and the way he handled that bike there is pretty amazing. And it showed that you were able to apply the stuff that he talked to you. So your last race, right, your first lap, you weren't too far off of Damien. He's on the Ninja 400 and you're on the R3, and there's a torque difference. And plus, Damien's a faster rider. There's no doubt about that. If you were on a 400, you weren't going to beat Damien in that race. We can agree with that. But, you were pretty dang close the first lap. And that second full lap that the timing system picked up, you got down to your personal best for the entire weekend, which was the absolute second fastest time for R3s or Ninja 400s, expert or novice racer, of 1:31.45. And dude, that's the best that I did was in practice. And it was a 34.6, which is reasonable. I wouldn't call that fast. I would call it, it's quick. Yeah, that's quick. And now that's got the old man so far off of you. It's like you're riding in a different league, at this point. And it was just awesome to be out there and watch you race that. This trophy is another one of those. You were the only amateur that was entered in that race. So it's kind of a token. But when I look at your lap timer and just the laps that you ran, that entire race is full of 31s. Yeah. And those were fast enough to beat everybody except for
Damien did all.
Because Damien ran 28.3 backwards on that Ninja 400 stock suspension. He had a pipe, quick shifter, rear sets, that kind of stuff, and a tune and brakes. But yeah, the kid had stock suspension and I think even some used tires, and that's just a lot of talent. But it was cool that he shared some of that with you and that you were able to glean some benefit. You said that last race you even started using what?
The rear brake.
I told him not to because I'm like, dude, be careful with that. Wait till you're out there on a practice day, man, so you can feel how it's going to make the motorcycle react. But then, Hippie Dip over here decides to just start applying that in a live fire situation, if you will. And do you want to talk about that at all? I mean, that's because it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so when I really started using it, it was my third race. And so we were going into turn 1. Damien had me. Then the second corner, Damien passed his SV650 on the inside. And I was like, dang, how am I gonna get around him? And of course, he had a little bit of motor on me going down the hill. And I just get him on the brakes, on the rear brakes, like chattering a little bit going down the hill. You
can see that in that video too. We're gonna show in this video. We should show the crash just because it's hilarious, the yard sale. And then we'll also show, probably earlier on in this video, we'll show those first couple of laps, because I think they're really interesting. And actually what you just talked about, I can see that going into the bus stop for sure. Where else did you use the rear brake?
Going into the bowl. So you come out of the sweeper, you're probably hitting 82, 83 to just a flip hand to a decently fast catcher's mitt right-hander.
And how would you use it? Are you stabbing at it? Or are you putting a lot of pressure on it? Are you still on the throttle? What's happening when you use it?
Just a little less front brake, and I think I use more rear brake in the front going to most of the corners, especially going down the hill. But in that corner, going in the bowl is probably the same. Just like.
And what do you feel that it did for the bike? Did it help slow it down? Did it do anything else?
Slowed it down a lot faster.
Did it tighten up the corners? Anything like that? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Especially that corner.
I'm too old to touch the rear brake, man. I'm not doing it. I'm just afraid it'll make me fall down. So there you have it. There's our race recap. We want to say thanks to a lot of people. Wera runs a great event. Pastor Mark Miracle, awesome. Love having that guy there. He just makes the whole thing better. We had a lot of family that came out to watch us.
That was pretty freaking sick.
That was pretty sick, and thanks for the support for everybody coming out. And we had a lot of friends that came out. Tez and Artie and Vega, keep coming out, and that's pretty cool too. Man, Sportbike Tire Service for all the help with the Michelin tires. Those Michelin tires, man. Right. Oh yeah.
Sticky, sticky, sticky.
Earned yourself another podium hat, which is pretty cool.
It's the same one. There's no need for another one.
No need for another one. Okay. And then having the opportunity for me as a father to go out there and ride around and share this with him, that is one of the most priceless things. I mean, it's amazing. It's like literally living in Disney World. So I'm going to say a quick thanks to every customer that's ever bought anything from Sportbike Track here. It's all that business and the support that you've given us over the years that's allowing us to go out there and do all these things.